Good evening.
Evening.
A couple of days after the shellacking that we took, it is the Saturday 28th of December. 2 more days until we batter Newcastle.
Yeah,
something like that, innit? How you doing, bath time? How's Christmas treating you, man? How the holidays treating you?
I love it, Mr. B. I love living like a child, getting up when I want, not running, eating, drinking. It's genuinely the best time of the year. I'm good. Wouldn't it be nice if like our football team was something that you could sort of like look forward to rather than it feel like you're going back to school.
I don't know where the feelings come from. We were so excited once Ten Hag left, and now
Is that fair? I mean, that's more you and Yappa. Like, I've been very negative on this squad and on the summer and things. Like, this has been coming for a while.
Yeah, I suppose it has to us now. Now in hindsight, it probably has, but I just feel that I just feel that it's going to get a lot worse. I'm not sure how much worse it can get, but I mean, I felt low. The Wolves game, I just feel that's just the level that we're at, and if he doesn't get back in, then this is the level that we're going to stay at until at least the summer.
Yeah, like I was thinking about a couple of things today, Mr. B. The first one is my friend and yours, Ralph Ragnick, talked about open heart surgery. Do you remember how everyone was beating themselves off over it and stuff? We spent 660 million since then, and I had a look at the teams. Oh, Tyrone, are you at work or do you want to come on? Hopefully you're learning how to read a book instead of an audio book. And the other thing I was thinking about is that we went in on Ten Hag for being too stubborn and too sort of like sticking to his ridiculous principles. Do you think that, like, we've hired Amran to play a certain formation, we've got no money to build it, like, at the moment? Is it worth staying with a 2-man midfield, like two wing backs, like, or do we just have to get pragmatic, get as high up the table as possible, and go again in the summer with this formation?
Yeah, but then the thing is, I kind of get what you're saying, but then he's not going to know what players can play in the formation or not. So then he's still got the two all right, we're going to Malaysia at the end of the season. Maybe, he'll have time to sort that out. And then you obviously pre-season. I just don't think he's going to have enough time. I think it's better he does it now. We're not qualifying for Europe. I think the most we're going to get is the highest we'll get is 10th at a push. And it'll be, hopefully the club will get rid of the trash that he doesn't want early and get in who he wants early. And then maybe, just maybe, something works out. But there's going to be no European football next season unless they win Europa. And the way that they're playing at the moment, that's a distant possibility. I said, then they're still getting it for getting 10th in the Premier League. I don't see us being in Europe. So as much as they're building all of this, and guess what? If it's not in Europe, then they don't have to worry about. But what's European financial fair play?
I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know, but I think I'm not even going to say what I think it is. The one we have to worry about is like Premier League, FSP. But do you, from like, let's say the season starts now, Mr. B, what's success come May?
If the season's finishing higher than 10th.
Yeah, is that where we're at?
I mean, look, our goal difference is back down to minus, isn't it? I'm sure we're -1. I don't see. Obviously, there's going to be games that they surprise us. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. It's going to be games that we think we're going to win against teams and we don't. But I just don't see where the next points are coming from. Bruno obviously doing his Bruno thing. He did a Brunoism, which is fine, which is no problem. But where's the fight going to be coming from? You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I mean, is it too early to say that the players have given up already?
I think a lot of them are. When I say fighting, I've just realised that these fancy new graphics you've got make it look like we're sort of in pay-per-view boxing. We're going to have to fight. I suspect that we'll just injure each other, like we'll injure ourselves rather than each other. I don't know the fight, but where are my manners? Are you doing the comments?
Do you want to do them?
Yeah, I can do the comments. Have you highlighted any?
No, but I can do now, though.
All right. Well, Bilal is talking to people in chat, saying hello. Andrew. Andrew's been on the quality street, I think. It's Bart. Hello, Bart. People are calling Amarin a fraud already.
I mean, that's so. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Expected.
Yeah,
he's lost 4 out of 5.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, man, it's the same dead players that we've had. Did they suddenly expect him to make him? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Mr. B, you've been on shows with these people. They're complete addicts to saying like fraud and all this kind of stuff. Like it's like their currency, isn't it? It's that you've got to be the first hater. And then you point out, I've hated him longer than you've hated, and stuff like that. It's just the way it goes. Mr. POTUS, you're bringing up the charity. We can talk a little bit about that later. What, Kieran? Why did anyone think we'd improve in this time when Ten Hag left? Not even Ferguson could get these players going. It's my recollection that in the summer, 90% of the chat and people were really happy with that window.
I was.
You were.
I was. Yeah. I was happy with the window.
Yeah, and we'd come off the back of actually a very impressive FA Cup win. The run itself wasn't impressive, but beating City in the final at the time seemed really good. I can understand why people would think that we could improve. Bilal, some positives, positivity. You mean? Please come on. It's John Lowry. Hey everyone, hope you've all had a great Christmas. I had a lovely Christmas, John. What was your best Christmas present? Some accountancy news. We deserve better. They've closed the loophole that Chelsea were exploiting. It's Subvids saying hello. Bath time. I can get a better DP for your channel if you wish in glorious 4K. So a director of photography. Well, we're HD ready, aren't we, Mr. B?
I have no idea what a DP is, but yeah, thanks, Tyrone.
Yeah, I mean, I've just realised what a DP could be. And since Tyrone was telling me about his massage earlier, maybe it involved that. Who knows? This man probably does. Hello, Bath Time and Mr. B. Lovely to spend the evening with you. Lovely to spend the evening with you. We deserve better. I hope you enjoyed all your Brussels sprouts. It's disheartening when you look at Villa, Brighton, Newcastle, and many others who are better run clubs than United. Thing is, I've had this argument before. I obviously dislike Brighton and Newcastle tremendously because of the Dan Ashworth connection. I think people who've watched the channel know I hate those two clubs, and they know why now. They haven't really won anything, though, and that is, you've got to remember that it would be a golden period for any of those clubs with the trophies that we've won over the last couple of years. So if you brought up West Ham, Tyrone, who won a European trophy recently, I think that's a better kind of yardstick or barometer. God, there's a lot of chat. I mean, Simon, hello, Simon. You've brought up a team. I'm going to star it, but I'm going to be honest. I'm probably going to forget about it when we get to the predicted lineups.
No, I'll start. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
Rewind us.
Yeah. What is this, Andrew? God, that's sort of drunk Andrew. Big up, by the way, Mr. B and Bath Time Starts Watch Blue Hand Timer. I see someone got the Lucky Sing How to Speak English book for Christmas.
That's what I was going to say.
Ian Robertson, Newcastle, put 5 past you. All right, Tyrone, I think I've asked you already, but if you want to come on, just express it in the chat. Whoops. Right, do you want to talk about this charity stuff, Mr. B?
Yeah, so I mean, I heard that they were giving them £10,000 every quarter since 1985, for what is it, like a old players charity, helps with funerals and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of for people that didn't make it at the club. So a lot of people who were in the academy and never played for the club and things and sort of fell on hard times. And to be honest, it's you're not talking about. Hang on a second. You two, shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to speak in different languages. One more word of this, and I'll ban both of you. I'm not in the mood for flirting. There we go. It's always nice to get stuck into the chat, isn't it? Fucking dickheads, man. But yeah, I think the charity is it's a really nice thing that we do, and I'm sad that we're having to sort of get rid of things like this, but we're in such a bad spot financially, Mr. B. Are you gonna put it on the supporters? Would you lot to anyone who goes to games, would you be happy subsidising that charity out of your ticket? Because we have been milked dry by the Glazers and by Ten Hag's spending. I don't know what to say to it.
I understand they've got to save money. I get it. But 40 grand, I mean, somebody had here we go. This is Mr. Poulter's 40 grand to cut costs. They're paying players 350 grand a week and not even playing. If they're going to go as hard, obviously these players couldn't be shifted now. If come January, they get rid of, Marcus, then okay, I get it. But if you're going to be keeping him until the summer, keeping Casemiro, who you're not going to play until the summer, then you're not cutting costs. Do you know what I mean? To save, the 40 grand in the whole scheme of things, 40 grand, if I had 40 grand, it's a lot of money. But in the whole scheme of things for United, I'm sure 40 grand's not something that they're going to see. Obviously, we now know that obviously the Ferguson decision was definitely, he definitely got removed. He definitely got removed from his post. Whatever we people might have thought, or blah blah blah, and before, there's no way it was definitely that they've done it that way. But they're just killing morale. Staff, from the Christmas party. All right, Christmas party shouldn't be costing $250,000. Let's be honest. But from taking the ball boys' money away, just little things they're doing. Unless
hang on, the ball boys.
Not the people who got they normally got £100 Christmas bonus.
Oh, the stewards.
The stewards, sorry. Yeah. The stewards. There's a lot of things that they're doing now that just seem to be kicking people in the face. And then the fact that the team are playing how they're playing, Jesus Christ, bath time.
It's not good. It's not good times, is it?
No.
I like the practical side of me, thinks that, when you take over a business, you're looking to increase revenue and reduce costs, and United have been run into the ground by 20 years of mismanagement. But then that's such a good point. It's 40k. That's all it is. And the most embarrassing thing is that Mark Goldbridge is gonna make up the money. I thought the guy from the United stand has pledged 40k to them that he'll raise it.
Oh shit!
So they can keep going. And it's like when Oatsel, do you remember when he started subsidising Gunnosaurus?
Yeah.
It's just, that's a level of embarrassment that is.
Because it just, even Bruno with the Christmas party last year, he said that he'll pay for one of the Christmas parties, and they told him no because it's going to be an embarrassment to the club, innit? So you make these decisions, and I suppose you have to die by them. But I don't think anybody expected it to be as bad as it's got in what they're doing. I don't work for Manchester United, but I would have hated to be laid off just before Christmas. And then you've still got these prima donnas prancing around all over the place. So I think there's a lot of work to be done still. And I don't even know what decisions they're going to be making. But if they don't shift these players, it's going to be chaos. It really will be chaos.
It's like the goodwill for Ineos is run out, I think. Like, even things like, you're talking about the stewards. My understanding is that Old Trafford has been a disaster since they reduced the stewards. Hello, Richo 66.
How much does all that cost, Cotton? Exactly. I this is a question. Welcome, Richo 66. I don't think I've seen you before, to be fair. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's just, I just think it's just so little. It's just so little money.
Yeah, it's mean spirited. But the thing is that, I'm going to guess that is not fancy dress, and that Rich is a Everton fan. We're so close to FFP and all this kind of stuff. And I think you got how many points did Everton got taken off from last year? Was it 12 or something? And then reduced.
Was it 8?
8?
Yeah, 12. Yeah, because they got a reduction of 3. Was it 3 that they got a reduction of?
I can't remember. I know that they got a big points deduction just before we played them, but I think they might have happened once or twice. It's just, I don't know, man. We're so badly run, and I don't know if this is the way to. That 40k can't be.
It's ridiculous.
But it's also that 40k. I think the stewards and the Christmas bonus is even worse, to be honest, because I can understand the argument that we're not a charity. I can understand that. I can understand getting rid of Fergie for 20 million, but your employees are kind of like your teammates. They're part of your sort of your daily family, and to take 100 quid out of their pockets before Christmas and sack them, I don't think that's in the history of the world that something like that has ever worked. But let's see what our historians are saying in chat. So here we go. Started off with John, who said that his best present would have been a win against Bournemouth and Wolves. He's looking forward to Newcastle. Andrew is on something. Even if they're selling Casemiro, Rashford, why isn't he playing them? Surely he's not that indignant. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Casemiro featured against Newcastle. Rashford, I think there's more going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah. It's an absolute disgrace that a YouTuber has to do that. Why wouldn't players give 1% of their salary? Goldbridge is going to become a hero for Manchester United. All its haters are going to go mental, laughing my arse off. I think Goldbridge has seen a pretty easy slam dunk, to be honest. This is a good one, taking the Manchester out of Manchester.
As he's throwing it on, putting the Manchester United, Manchester.
Yeah. Christmas is over, but Scrooge Glazer is still here. One of my ideas for a Christmas special, Simon, was to do a Marcus Rashford Christmas Carol, where like Mr. B would have been the ghost of Christmas future. Dora would have been Rashford. Yabba would have been the positive one. I think it would have been a lot of fun.
What the hell is that?
Hang on. Andrew Williams, the hurt spirits are angry with the club. You know some of them from past. That's good. Good, Dark Crow. Keep going. Ineos is the Starmer of Manchester United.
30 seconds bath time. Just waffle. I just got to say bye to the family. 1 sec, mate.
Yeah, all right. It's Avram Glazer. And Avram, I'm going to ban you when I work out how to do it. No one is allowed to pretend to be someone they're not. It's Jeff, Ericsson, Casemiro start with Minu, sit deep and get a point. Do you think a 3-man midfield chat sport, or like Ericsson as the one of the sort of 10 in the box? Look at that. It's Matty Bassett. Matty, how was your Christmas? Did you get a nice present? Anthony Gordon is probably the best left-wing player in the Premier League. Yeah, maybe. Bath time, make me a mod and I'll do the work that others aren't doing. I don't know how. I've got to be completely honest. I don't even know. Do you know what? I think I'm actually banned on this channel for some reason. So, like, I can't even go in the chat. I'm banned on my own channel.
I don't know how you do it. I'll work it out, but yeah, remind me. I'll get it done, Mr. POTUS. Don't worry about that.
Imagine if it were the Glazers did these cuts, the protests would be unimaginable.
Yeah, but they are doing it. It is them doing the cuts.
Well, yeah, I mean they're the head of the ship,
yeah.
I suppose. But it's Jim. Jim is doing it. Like, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, he'll play 3 in midfield. He needs to close that midfield. Hope so. We got Mean Mike. Good day, gents. He's coming live to us from POTUS's office. Is that a real picture, Mean Mike? I don't think it would be, would it? You wouldn't be able to get a pose like that from a head of state, would you?
Why not? Why not? He might be at Madden 2 Swords.
I think that's more likely.
Who cares? I think it's quite cool.
Well, it looks like the sort of front cover of Rush Hour or something. Bath time, please mute my comment. If you tell me what to do, Darkrow, I'll just put you in the bin with Avram Glazer, to be perfectly honest. I mean, who do you think you fucking are? It's Ineos making all the football decisions. Yeah, it is. There's no doubt about it. It's going to call him Jim Glazer. It's Jim Ratcliffe cuss-cotting and trying to maximise revenues and things. Bright future ahead, brand new stadium, new owners, financially secure. Hopefully these relegation battles will be a thing of the past.
Rich, I'm going to be honest, mate. As long as you stay below us, I'm more than happy. Once Everton pass us, we are in the sherbet.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think we're going to be sharing a stadium with Everton at some point.
Oh, because of the new one?
Yeah, but I mean, do you think we'll be allowed to play in Liverpool? Just from like policing and stuff like that. Like United, we have to take the most like police to away games as it is. But it's the only like kind of local place that makes sense. Unless we go and play, in JWB Stadium or whatever it's called at Wigan these days.
God, I don't know what they're gonna do. Look, they'll work that out. That's above our pay grade at the moment.
Well, Danny's in chat. And is there any other comments? No, not really. Ban some people. Too much negativity in here. I'd love to. I'd love to have it'd be like Hunger Games. Just ban.
Hold on, and it's so funny. You know he's on the wind up. Come on now.
Yeah,
he has definitely been on the brandy sauce today, boy.
Yeah, well, it's Andrew's. He's been eating Quality Street and drinking what do you drink, Andrew? For some reason, I think you might be a Smirnoff Ice drinker. It's either that or just exclusively real ales. Do you know what I mean? Them camera people. You probably don't know what camera is.
Who? I know what camera is. I know what a camera is.
No, not a camera that you take photos with. Camera is like the campaign for real ale or something. And in the countryside, you get a lot of old men just sort of going, oh, well, I only drink this. I would never drink it faster. Jam. Just like that all day. All right. What are we doing next then? Hang on, we've got a question. Yeah, you take this, Mr. B. How does
he does?
Yeah, but how does he get sacked? What does Amran have to do to get sacked? Before
get us relegated? Nothing. I think he has to get us relegated. Listen, they chose, as a club, Ineos chose to give Ten Hag over 250 million in the summer. They let him keep his job. They took Amrin out of his job. Not a third through the season. We haven't reached January. He's got none of his own players, and then they're going to sack him. What the hell are they talking about? That makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense to me. You have to back him. You have to back him. If this season they suck, fine, no problem. Next season they can't suck. To me, I'll be honest, Bath time. I'm expecting us to finish where we are now. I'm expecting 14th. I'm expecting 14th.
If we make a signing, I would expect us to go up one or two places. But I can't believe I'm saying this, to get single figures, we'd probably be lucky. And I mean lucky, offsides and things going our way and stuff like that over the course of the season. We've spent 600 million on mid-table players, and what can you say? They're very, very bad players, and they're not very fit, and they can't defend a corner. So what do you think's going to happen?
I don't think it's not even like it's a corner from one side. We can't defend the road anyway. Paul Ashton, I've never seen you before, man. Welcome. Yes, boys. I'm afraid we are in a relegation battle on this form. We are going down. I wouldn't like to think we're going to drop any further than we are, surely. But then you look at our next couple of games, Bath time, and
yeah,
they probably the two that we really, really don't want.
Yeah, I mean we're very likely to drop points against Newcastle and Liverpool, and the teams around us could steal a bit of a march on us. But I don't think about relegation at the moment, not because we've got an inherent right to stay up or our players are good. I just think that the teams below us are really, really poor, and I'm not going to try and wind Richo up, but Forest and Everton had big point deductions last year and didn't go down. And normally, I remember many, many, many years ago, I think Robson was managing Middlesbrough, and they refused to play a game against Coventry City because they had a flu bug or something. This would have been maybe 97 or 98 or something like that. And Coventry stayed up because of that. Now I don't think that the margins are that fine. I think the teams that come up from the Championship are normally really, really poor. And when you look at Forest, who have done well, they've basically done it by cheating. Like,
Yeah, and that's what we need to do. I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they knew they were going to get fined.
Yeah,
They said, "Oh, F it, they're going to
they
do it
took it.
anyway." And look where they are now. I mean, how much transfer windows has Nuno had there? 4?
I'm not sure, but I mean, like, they got Edu in to do their transfer business. I love some of the players that they signed. Gibbs White, Alanga, Hudson-Odoi. These are my type of players to get us back.
I know. Alanga is. Well, they ain't getting.
I love
Alanga.
Delaney.
You take Alanga, but I do like Gibbs White though. I do like Gibbs White. I'm not sure he's a United player. Oh, actually, tell a lie. He could do the number 10 for us quite well. To be fair,
He'd be much
Gibbs
better.
White. Yeah.
Let's have a look what comments we've got. We'd have better says gone by May if we don't sign in January. And in some ways, I agree with that. I think that if he gets a player in January, which is like Nuno Mendes, I think is being linked to us, the left back from PSG, used to play with Amrin. He's only 5'11", but he's one of those players that when I've seen him play, I've thought, oh, he looks pretty good. But then again, I think that about Vitinha, and I found out the other day Vitinha played for Wolves. Like, so God knows, who knows about that? But I think that if they invest money in him in January, he definitely stays. If they don't invest money in him, that's where I would worry. If we don't get a permanent signing, I'd be worried for him.
The thing, I think you're right there, because then he hasn't been backed. I know they're saying, "Oh, United don't have money." We never had no money last summer. They always find money. They always find the money. I think they're just looking for the right player at the right price. I mean, I know they were looking at Kirkes. Is it Kirkes from Bournemouth?
That left back.
Yeah, the left back. Obviously, we've got the option for Alvaro from the one who's gone to Benfica.
Mm-hmm.
But so if this is something that can be done, get it done. Just the same agent as Bruno and Amarin. So maybe that'll help. Is
it George Mendes?
I have no idea who their agent is, to be fair. I don't know who their agent is. I've just said that it's the same one. So we'll have to wait and see half time, to be fair. I'm not sure. I just want him to be backed. Whether it's one or two players and get the ones that they don't want, just get them out. Just get them out.
Like, what it's got to be, Mr. B, is he's got to be backed, but he's got to be backed with a wide player. Because if we get him a centre forward, a number 10, a midfielder,
it doesn't help his system.
Exactly. It's if they don't invest in that system, I do worry for him, because then there's no sunk cost. Is George Mendes. He's our director of football now, boys. He brought in Ugarte and he brought in Euro. Like,
whatever works, mate. Whatever works. I'll be honest, but I don't care. I don't care who they're going to get in bed with at the moment. Just get us the players in the club.
Bilal is asking me, have I watched any of Elite Ballers content? No, I haven't. Sorry. Here we go. Can't even click buttons. Seen the worst and good times, age 12, 1970, Division 1 champions. I'm sure you saw. Was it Paul Rideout that scored against us in the 95 FA Cup final?
See, as I said, I couldn't remember that.
I cried, Mr. B. I think I was 6. It was a dreadful day. Can Manchester United get Branthwaite? I'd love Branthwaite. I'd love him so much, to be perfectly honest. But in terms of a signing, it's got to be a wing back for me now, because otherwise, sack Amrin.
There's something I saw today as well. Do you know the games where we've played with wing backs, we haven't scored? The 9 games we've scored in, we've played with wingers. We played with a winger on one of the sides.
So when we play Maz and Delo,
we're losing. Yeah, we're not scoring. Yeah, we're not scoring, and we're losing the game. So hopefully that's something that he's. Look, they study these things. If I've seen that on Twitter, on X or whatever they want to call it now, then I'm sure they must know. They must know that as well.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I disagree with POTUS here. Alanga wouldn't have got to the levels he's at now if he stayed. Langer was a great player. Like,
no, do you know
young.
what? I think you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe they wouldn't have been coaching him, giving the instruction that he's been given. Bath time. Maybe it's to a certain extent he's right there. Maybe we would have stunted his progression. Maybe him playing with us.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he did score against Atletico Madrid in like knockout Champions League football, which is something that I don't think that would happen with Forest. Maybe he's had, I don't know, more playing time than he would have got. But Alanga is a sensational athlete. He was committed. Like he gave everything. I was gutted. I was gutted when he left. Like it was completely the wrong thing. I quite like this comment because I also saw Kirkeris's hair and thought that looked quite fun. Like if I grew my hair, I wouldn't mind hair like that. Who is Gyökeres's agent? I've no idea.
I don't listen. If I'm Gyökeres, I'm not coming anywhere near us. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm definitely not doing it in January, and I would not be coming anywhere near us in the summer. I'm sorry, man. You look at your play. He can go anywhere he wants. What's he scored? 65 in 66 or whatever he scored. There's no chance. There's no chance. I don't care how much I think Amaroon's great. I wouldn't be going anywhere, Man United, boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wonder if Gyökeres would even want to come back to the Premier League, to be honest. You know, like Baz Dost, I think, was a guy who played for Sporting who had a better goal scoring record than him. Like if I was Gyökeres, I'd be looking to get a big deal at Sporting. Speaking of big deals, Stephanie Griffiths late again. Steph, I've had to ban someone from chat because you weren't here. Bit like Bruno vacating spaces. But we got 17 likes. Alanga was sold for 15 million. I mean,
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's United.
Alanga has only 3 goals and 2 assists in 19 appearances. He's not that good. Like, go and look at Zidane's assists and things like that. People judge goals and assists too much. There's a lot that happens in between. Like, teams have to set up in a certain way to deal with someone with Alanga's pace. Like, Alanga wins your headers and second balls and things like that. It's not just goals and assists that a footballer has. Bath time, I timed out Avram 24 hours. I just banned him, Jeff, because he was role playing. And unless you come to Dungeons and Dragons with me, you're not allowed to role play in chat. You can go on other channels to do that. And we've got Angelica Fernandez. Good evening. Sorry, I was distracted by what was on your shirt, Angelica, because it says "I love Tyrone." And it's got me thinking if this is something, if you know, it's our good friend Tyrone Williams. But it's lovely to have you here, and I hope that you had a Merry Christmas. Right, speaking of Merry Christmases, Mr. B, we got to look at our predicted 11s, innit?
Yeah, this is. Oh God, look, guys. Obviously, you know we've got it is actually a preview show. But you know, me and Bath Time like to chew the fat a bit before we get things going. We've actually got our 11s up. Let me try and get this up first. 1 second. Our predicted 11s, guys. If you agree, great. If you disagree, obviously let us know. Let us know what you think. Obviously, I've probably made a mistake with Bath Time's team. To be fair, as usual, yeah, I've got Onana in goal. Bath Time actually had Heaton in goal.
Hang on, Mr. B, does this just keep playing like this? Like,
yeah, I've realized that's gonna make people lose their nut. Hold on, let me just, you know what? Let me just do that.
Look at this level of special effects. This is like watching Avatar or something like that.
You know, if I do that one, I think that one makes it a lot easier because it should stop. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
you can pause it. You can pause it.
Can I hold
So
on
play it. I'll pause it.
Oh, super. Oh, there you go, Bob. There you go. There you go. There you go. See, sophistication, guys. Sophistication.
Oh. Look at this. His side only coming on tonight is one of the main reasons I tune in from Brazil. I've invited him on, Angelica, but I'm not sure.
It is actually Tyrone's fault. We did invite him on. He said he was going to be in the link. And we apologize that he's not on. But if you are going to go, could you just give us a like before you go and then phone Tyrone and tell him off afterwards, please? Thank you. Sorry, bath time.
Thank you. Also, Elite Baller has shown up. Hello to you, sir. Wrong one. There we are. Right one. Right. In chat, let us know which team you like the most. I want to know, Mr. B, what Martinez is doing in your team. Why is he there?
Do you know what? I can't be playing Dalot. I think he needs a rest. And he's the only left footer that we've got in the team bath time. That's the only reason. I know he's getting done in a lot of games, and he's probably the one who does need to be dropped. But I'm not having Dalot. I'm not having Dalot over him. I see that you've got Mazraoui in yours. Maybe I could have gone with Mazraoui, but then is it fair that Mazraoui is the one who just keeps getting shifted all over the place?
Well, I don't think he's very good as a wing back.
Okay.
I think Dalot is slightly better.
Do you?
Yeah, and I think Mazraoui is better as a centre back than Dalot.
I'm resting Dalot. I'm not sure where he's going to play, to be honest, bath time. I'm not sure where we can play him.
Well, the thing I like about Dalot is obviously he was fantastic last season. I like his attitude. I like the fact that he's an athlete, that he runs, that he heads the ball and things like that. And he also sticks to his position. Now, I know he's not convinced a lot of people on the ball and stuff like that, but we're not at a point where we can worry about having ballers and things. Right now, we just need lumps that do their job and compete. And that's why I'd pick Dalot every day of the week.
Okay.
Okay, we've both got Ahmad back at right wing back.
Yeah, just because of the point that I made in the last point that we're not scoring. If he doesn't play there, we don't score. I think Amrin's system is made for attacking players and not defensive players who actually want to pick up the ball and run forward. So that's why I've gone with Ahmed. You've gone with Collier as well, though, and Casemiro.
Yeah, well, I think that I want always 5 people that can head a football in my team, because otherwise you can't play an effective form of zonal marking. At the moment, as I say, I'm mainly concerned about running, winning second balls, raising the physical level. I see absolutely no reason not to give Collier a go. Like, if he isn't on loan, then he needs to be sold in January. Like, if they sold Maxio Odedele, they can sell him. And I personally think that what I saw of Collier was he had a good engine. I like that he looked to play the ball forward. He seemed that his technical ability was perfectly reasonable for a central midfielder in the Premier League now. He's not, going to be doing pirouettes and step overs and things. But he looked like he could control the ball, pass it and run. And to be honest, that is a massive upgrade on our midfield at the moment. Just win your headers, pass it, and run ahead of the ball when you need to, and get behind it when it's necessary. Like, we need to go back to the absolute basics of football. Yeah. And I think that Collier, I'm not saying he's a basic player, but I think that he brings the physical side of the basics, because
and the running stats as well, because he keeps on going as well.
Exactly. And as much as everyone hates Bruno at the moment, with Bruno and Ugarte not playing, Like you're missing a lot of running in that team, so you can't do half measures. You've got to go for a kind of a mid block team that aren't really going to run with a bit of pace up front.
So you've gone. So you went obviously Mazraoui. You went Dallo. I went Mazraoui. You're two. You've gone Ericsson. I've gone Xerxes.
Yeah. Well, essentially, I've gone for. I think that Ericsson has probably been our best player this season. To be honest,
What, under Ten Hag or throughout the whole season?
Throughout the whole season.
Okay.
I think that when you look over it, he's put in the only two that I think have put in reasonable performances for Amarin are probably Ahmed and Maguire. Maguire with 1 or 2 and Ahmed with 3 or 4. I think Ericsson put 6 or 7 decent appearances in. Without Bruno Fernandes, who's Mr. B, who's taking set pieces from the right in your team?
I'll give them both. Give them all to Ahmed. Just give him in both sides.
Okay, give it him both sides.
Yeah.
Look, we know what Ericsson can and can't do. Like Ericsson has a good work rate and he runs more than people think. He's secure on the ball. He gives you good delivery from wide areas. He gives you good delivery from set pieces. And I think that we saw a nice combination play recently between him and Dalot that ended up with him receiving the ball zone 14 for cutbacks. Like he had 3 or 4 chances against a team I can't remember.
And, so yeah, I'll let you finish first. Yeah, I'll let you finish.
Well, I was going to say, and the thing is that those were just executed slowly. So half of London turned up in front of him before he could get the shot off. I think that there was a promise there, and I think that if we were to sort of view it as a third man combination, I think Dalot, Casemiro, and Ericsson can actually produce stuff. Like Dalot, you've got a runner there in midfield who's just going to be getting in and behind, back all the time. And then you've got Ericsson and Casemiro have got a bit of quality on the ball. And that's what we need. We need to stay in games, have players that are diligent. And don't forget, Casemiro and Ericsson were a very, very functional double pivot for quite a long time. I know it's
just
2
the
years
legs.
ago.
It's just the legs. They can't.
That's fine. Play deeper then.
Yeah, but how much deeper are they going to play by half time? They need looking at the gaps between them and the rest.
Yeah, but the gaps have been outrageous a little bit. We've got Ugate's all right over 10 or 15 yards, but the difference between this year and last year in terms of the gaps is that the players are a little bit wiser. Kobe, Bruno, Ugarte, they're fouling people now.
Yeah.
Before
we letting them run.
Yeah,
you're right.
We're fouling people, and the problem is, for me, is that I think the number 10s now are getting a bit too disjointed. So I've picked basically two midfielders to play, so that at least that there's going to be people where they need to be.
Yeah, that's why I played Xerxes, because I just think that because he kind of plays that position, he's more likely to hold it.
You think Xerxes is more likely to hold it than Ericsson?
Yeah. I just and look, we've both got Kobe out of that too. So we're all, I think we're agreeing that Kobe's not functioning there as an 8, is he?
No, because he doesn't look. I've got to be honest, Mr. B. I've said this before. I never really played in things like a 4-4-2, so I don't really know what the role of
You need 2 Roy Keanes.
Yeah, but the thing is that from what people say, one gets ahead of the ball and one stays. You can't do that in the Premier League against 3 midfielders.
You can't do Dan. That's why nobody goes. I understand why nobody go 2. I get it, but then there's ways of compensating that. You could go narrow one side. You could drop another midfielder in certain times of play. So I think there is ways that it could be coped or can be dealt with. I'm just not sure he has the players to do it. I mean, look, he'll work it. He has to work it out eventually. If he's got 2 Ugates in there, then fine, there's no problem. But you,
Oh no, I don't think it's Ugarte. I think it's Mount. I think
so
Mount.
it depends.
Yeah, I think it's the pressing. It's because what you like in the press. Obviously, the most important thing, the thing above all, is pressure from the front line on the ball, and then you lock on with your midfielders, you go man to man, you push up, and stuff like that. Without Mount and without Bruno, there's no energy from our number 10s like Garnacho. Ahmad's pretty good at winning duels, but the positions he takes up in the press, I think. I mean, I can't be bothered to draw diagrams and things, but Ahmad, a lot of the time, he puts himself in what we term a triangle between the centre back, the winger, and the left back, and he waits there to spring, and it means that you have to do a hell of a lot of running and so on. So Mount that's where Mount is at his best, because he can cover those grounds and cover the angle and things, and that means you can play a bit higher. So without those players in the team, I don't think that we can really even attempt to play a press. And Xerxes and Højlund that you've got might be okay. You might have Xerxes able to look after the ball. You might have Højlund doing more kind of channel runs and things. But I just trust Eriksen far more than I trust Xerxes.
Agreed.
Oh, I like this comment as well. Yeah, that is the one reasons I'm picking Casemiro is because I like the fact that he isn't this slave to passing to the outside foot, which is, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems with European footballers. And the other thing is he's effective in both boxes. And at the moment, we just need to be solid in the midfield and effective in both boxes, and that's how we get up the table.
I mean, the thing is, I'm going to ask you about, do you think that he's been ostracized out of the team? Because even if he comes into the team now and we win the game, and he has a stormer, I'm talking like a stormer.
Yeah.
Do you feel that he'll still stay? Because I think they've been trying to, the fact that he hasn't played any minutes, they were desperate the other day. They had to play him, and I cannot see anybody else playing in central midfield. Do you think that he's a professional, but at the end of the day, if somebody pisses you off at work, you're going to go to work pissed off? Do you think that could have an impact on how he plays the game? Because no matter how well he plays, he knows he's not staying.
All right, there's a bit to unpack there, isn't it? I don't think so. I think Casemiro's goose is cooked. I think he earns too much money. I think that his behaviour at the FA Cup final is something that probably still kind of resonates and stuff like that. He was a great player in a completely different system. We're now doing 2-men midfields, which I still struggle with that as a concept. I think it would just be like the same as Rashford, to be honest. If Rashford came and played this game and he got a hat trick, doesn't really change anything. Do you know what I mean? I think it makes the manager look weaker in some ways. So I think that, to be perfectly honest, I was never huge fans of Casemiro and Varane at Manchester United. I think that they were disappointments. But the one thing that I can say about them is that they could have made the biggest fuss ever with their CVs and their things, and they didn't. And Casemiro has been really, really well behaved. Even do you remember when Rashford was getting all that stuff for dressing up and going to the basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah, Casemiro was running around. Well, he was waddling around Disneyland with Mickey Mouse ears and things like that. I think I'm very impressed with how Casemiro has conducted himself in public, because he's a genuine living legend of European football. He's got every right to say I'm up there with Busquets and Kante and people like that. and we haven't had any problems with him. And I wouldn't mind to see that being rewarded. But at the end of the day, we pay him too much money. He's not fit for purpose for any type of Premier League football. And for the good of everyone, I'd like to see him go and finish his career somewhere where he's appreciated, because even under Rude, him and Ugarte are pretty good together, man. Like he's just the ugly girl at the party now.
No, I hate it, the expensive one. Yeah.
All right, should we do some comments?
Yeah, I've told them to get their score predictions in as well.
Yeah. All right. So, we'll do a combination of like score predictions and 11s. First of all, we can check out We Deserve Betters. I'm just going to take our team off so we can read this.
Okay, that's up.
He's gone Mazraoui, De Ligt, Maguire, Ahmed, Casemiro, Martinez. We deserve better, man. Martinez in the midfield. I don't know what you're thinking. Malacia,
oh shit, he's going in the midfield.
One. Yeah,
I think Malacia is done.
I think it's been okay, to be honest. I think
the last game, the first half of the last game, he just kept on giving the ball away.
Yeah, actually, that's true. He did have a bad game, but he's putting Garnacho in with Eriksen, dropping Kobe, putting Højlund. Disappointed no one's put Wheatley in. I mean, I don't know about that. Casemiro and Martinez is
crazy.
I mean, it's like Bonnie and Clyde or something. It's like one of the worst combinations of people you could possibly pick.
Yeah, but then it might bloody work. Bath time. We're thinking of the
Bowers and Posh Spice.
Oh, so I know what you're talking about. That song.
I love that song, man. I thought that was amazing. You're out of your head. Shouldn't have worked, but it did. It was great. It was ahead of its time.
There you go. It might work. It might work.
All right, POTUS. Main problem with Deloach, he just can't dribble. I agree that he can run and is athletic. Yeah, I am of the opinion that dribbling is a little bit overrated in wide areas. I like it more central now, but I also think that it's a little bit. It feels awful that Manchester United don't have players out wide that can dribble. Like, ugh. Right, Stephanie Griffiths, the great mind of football. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. All right, Euro De Ligt, Maguire, fine. She's put Martinez in with Casemiro.
That's two.
Yeah.
We're missing something.
No. They're missing something in between their head. In between their ears, even. Like, not even Ten Hag played Martinez in midfield. He did it, I think, twice at Ajax, and then said he was never doing it again because Martinez does not have the legs to play in midfield. You saw what happened against Wolves. Like, the guy's not a runner. We'll get Casemiro and Martinez would get absolutely driven through like Imodium.
Imodium.
Yeah, Matt. You've seen the boxing. Ajmal, he's saying good evening from Quebec City.
Welcome.
And also, we haven't shouted him out yet, but it's Drayton Manor's finest. It's Damien Walsh. How you doing, Damien? We look better with Eriksen when we're in the build-up, but against team with runners, we struggle. I'd love to know, Tyrone, a team that's had runners that we haven't struggled against. Like, what midfield for the last 10 years hasn't struggled with fast runners? Kieran says that he doesn't think we'll start Collier, which I think is probably true.
Yeah, I know, but we have to dream in it. He has to try something. Okay, so if he doesn't go Collier, who does he go? Who does he go with? Because it has to be Casemiro.
He'll put Maino and Casemiro.
Jesus Christ.
I like this comment. Angelica is calling Andrew a sexist pig. I'm not sure. I actually checked to see what Andrew did. This is what he said, that Angelica cannot be a woman with that comment about Casemiro being our best header. I understand you're a bit merry, Andrew, but like, when someone new comes to the chat, can you please try and behave, or at least pretend not to be a sociopath? Because it's just not fun for the channel. Oh no. Newcastle 3-0.
Yeah. Jeez.
2-1 United. United 4, Barcodes 3. 3-1 Newcastle United. God, Jeff thinks we're going to score a goal. My head says Newcastle 2-0. And have we got anyone here? Bring back Giggsy for dribbling. Definitely bring back Giggsy for drinking. They're doing this thing again where they're like sort of naming female footballers. If you want to do that, boys, you do what you want. But why don't you set up a WhatsApp group and piss off and do it there? How about that? Okay. Angelica is saying, Anana, Delete Maguire, Yoro, Ahmad, Ugarte, Koda, Anthony.
Ugate's on a ban.
Mainu Wheatley. Right. I like Wheatley a lot. Ugarte is on a ban, so we'll put Casemiro in there. But Anthony, is this a Brazilian? Well, she's Brazilian, isn't it? What do people think of Anthony in Brazil? I'd love to know that. They just think he's like a competition winner. Right, Bilal. Yoro Delek Mazraoui, Ahmad, Casemiro, Mainu, Anthony, Ericsson, Garner, and Rasmus. I genuinely would not be surprised if that was the team, to be honest. Yeah, I can see that.
Do you reckon he would go Anthony and Ahmad?
Actually, you're right. I think that he would drop Ahmad because we've got Liverpool coming up and play Delo and put Anthony in Ahmad's position. Jeez. But having said that, we played against someone recently and Anthony played as a 10 and Anthony played as a wing back. Ahmad played at 10. He scored that goal where he nipped in front of the goalkeeper. Who was that against? It's the only win. Who?
Wasn't that Man City? You talk about Ahmad's goal.
I am. You're right. That was Man City.
Yeah, Man City.
Yeah, like Anthony and Ahmad were on the pitch, and I felt Anthony helped Ahmad out in those positions. So maybe there's something there. 2-1 Newcastle, up the Mackhams. But I appreciate all of our foreign fans, but a Mackham
is a bloody Sunderland twat.
And I wonder if this is Bart's best ever troll. I wonder if he knows that.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Okay. He doesn't.
Johnny, my friend Johnny, I refuse to give a starting lineup with how trash our squad is. Ajmal wants to know, how can our players don't have the dignity to at least not get beat? Oof.
They get paid a wedge a month whether they win or lose. So, yeah,
it's pride. It's genuine about pride. I just don't think they care. A lot of them, like, you know, Rashford. I don't actually blame Rashford for not caring because we're trying to force him out of the club at the moment. So that's fine. But maybe even after all I've said about Casemiro, where's that fire to get in the team and show that you were this world class?
Yeah, but why? But why? But he's got no carrot to dangle. Maybe he doesn't want to go Saudi, and Saudi is the only option out there for him. You know what I mean? I mean, look, if he got a recall to the Brazilian squad, then great. That would help everybody. But he's not going to. You know, they're losing without him.
I don't know, Mr. B. It's just for me, right? That I did everything I could to be a professional footballer, and I wasn't good enough. But you know, I used to run around with like bin bags, like tied behind me as a kind of parachute to try and increase my speed and stuff like that. I made fake press kits I made fake newspaper cuttings of myself to get into trials and things. But the desire was always there. And I wonder where it's gone with our players. I saw a clip from Ollie the other day, and it was about what would you say to because I think at the time we were on the 247th graduate or something. So 250 was going to be big. And it was like, what would you say to a young player? And he said that this is just the start. You've worked harder than anyone else, but now this is where the real work starts. And I look at our team and I wonder who's got that like work rate, who's there, who's desperate to improve, like the way Ronaldo did, or my great love Gareth Bale. Like, is that like the culture of the club? Are there, like Malacia and people like that, just thinking that they've made it and getting on Instagram?
I don't think.
Yes,
I actually think he looks like he's got a level of determination when he plays. I just think he may well not be good enough.
He's fighting for his career.
Well, good. Let him fight. He needs to fight, and then if he does stay, he then needs to fight to get himself in. Maybe they think Man United is, the top of the tree, and they've made it. They don't have to do anything else to stay at that level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's self-motivation.
It's just, you look at Anthony, right? And even Licha Martinez, like famously, when Ajax were turning down bids for Martinez, I think he put one of their directors up against a wall and threatened him to be allowed to leave. And Anthony, there's all these stories about him coming out of a favela and things like that. But where's that all gone? Like, why is it that it's Harry Maguire that seems to be the one that's still got the fight out of all of them? Like, why isn't Onana? Well, when he first came, he was like Jackie Channing people against Wolves and stuff. Like, where's that gone? I don't know. I just don't think things could be bleaker in that dressing room at the moment, and I don't know how we get it back.
Wins half time. It's wins, and it has to start with
bog washing. That's how we get back.
Yeah, listen, if that's what they have to do, then all these little woke players will be bitching on their TikToks that they've had their head dunked down the toilet. Look, what's the bloody point? You know what I mean? We got Will Williams has gone sadly 5-1. Bath time. Score prediction from you, because I haven't had one. I actually think we're going to lose 3-0. Minimum.
Right. I think that we are going to lose. It's just by how much. I think it's going to be 2-1. I think we're going to catch them at the start, and we've seen in a lot of games that we've scored really early. I think I'm going to change it. I'm going for a 0-0.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it has. Amrin is going to set that team up not to lose. We're going to play deep. Newcastle, the quality they have is more on transition than anything else. Unless, Fabian Schär pulls a rocket out of somewhere or other. Gordon, can he? Yeah, I think 0-0. I think it's going to be a dreadful game.
I hope it is. I would love it. I would love it to be an absolute stinker, to be fair. And then we're sitting down on the reaction show mad as hell because we didn't have any shots at goal. If we have no shots at goal and it stays 0-0, I'll take that.
Yeah, because everyone is saying, look, 4-0, 3-1. Do you not think that United are just going to shut up shop?
No, that's not his style.
But we're in survival football, at the moment. We've just got, basically what we've got to do is we've got to get through Christmas and we've got to get them on the training pitch and teach them how to play. He's had 6 training sessions. Is there a 2-week break? Is there a Christmas break this year? Or is there not? Am I mad? I think there is, isn't there? They do that staggered thing.
Yeah. We don't miss any football. So technically they should have 2 weeks on the training ground then. No, he's not going to send them away on holiday.
What have we got here? 2-1 United. Oh, I forgot to say Anthony to turn up. Yeah, having a laugh. Turn up to what exactly? A throw-in.
Anthony and that man have to turn up. Angelica, I love your optimism. If you're right, listen, you come back on and stick it to me in bath time. I have no problem. You know, if they get the win, but
I teach Mr. B what gustosa means.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Yeah, I don't mind learning what gustosa means if it means that we win. No.
It's not. I'll tell you what it means later. It's not the nicest thing in the world, but it can be a compliment.
Okay, fair enough. No break.
No break.
Oh fuck. Oh wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
Here we go.
5-0. Hoyland hat. Oh shit. 5-0. Okay, fair enough. Grace, I've just realised you haven't got Dello scoring any of those goals. Are you upset with him?
Score all of them.
All 5 of them, innit?
Are you lying? Physically, we would get bullied. Their side are massive 3-0 Newcastle. I can't disagree. Like Big G is someone who appreciates the physicality of his fellow man, and I agree with him. Like last year, I don't know if you remember, we went to St James's Park, and essentially, like it was Martial's last ever game. The pressing was all wrong. They were all fighting and stuff. And McTominay that had the shit beaten out of him by Joel Linton. Like Joel Linton, it was like Godzilla and Godzuki at times.
He's gonna have fun flattening that central midfield.
Especially if they're all picking Martinez.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they can't all line up on Martinez though, can they? So, you know.
We got 23 likes. Somehow, Mr. B, we've got 32 people watching.
Not somehow. They found us.
Yeah, which means that we're going to have to stay on. We're going to have to stay on for a little bit because we don't normally get these wild figures. So what have we got? Are you doing a watch along on Monday?
I'll be honest, I have no idea bath time. At the moment, with my shoulder, I live my day by day. If it doesn't hurt, I'll do it. If it can't, then I'll sit back and watch. I mean, to be fair, it's not like I've got anything to cheer about, so maybe I should just watch it, sit down and have a drink while we're watching, innit?
Yeah, but what is this hippie nonsense? I live each day, but you're not a dog.
Yeah,
Be
I know.
A salmon.
But I've got nothing to focus on now. I'm off work bath time.
Well, focus on like defending set pieces.
What is this?
And we got, hang on, JCX11. I just have to, when I see someone with a new name, I always have to say it in my head to make sure that they're not going to make me say something stupid. I don't need any help not saying stupid things. But I hope you're doing well. And it's crazy that was 6 months ago, that photo of Bruno with the FA Cup. And here's one of our favourites, someone who's been here for a very, very long time. It's 82. I hope that you're doing well. Right, so I think that we should do a watch along, Mr. B, because misery loves company, and these.
I know they'll be sitting by my side. I tell you what, if we're all sitting down there with a drink watching the game, you can even pretend. Then I have no problem with that. I'll do it. I'm gonna do it with a drink. I'm gonna do it with a drink bath time. I'll do it with a drink. It might need to be 2.
Yeah, I'll join you. I noticed you've been skiving out of them recently. I love the way Big G thinks he's our boss. Isn't that incredible?
Listen, it's a bit difficult. We keep asking somebody if they want to do one. We have no problem. We have no problem. You know, but yeah, actually, I will be here. I will.
God, we've got 37 people now. Which do any of you like would be up for like making content with us and doing things like watch longs? Because like we both, Mr. B like manages a football team and I play football. So we can't actually be very consistent because you might not notice, but the Premier League doesn't care about people.
I know they don't care about us, do they?
No. So like
oh god,
obviously, but you are not welcome to come and do a watch along. You're welcome to come on the channel whenever you want.
Can you imagine Bart doing a United watch along? Oh, the opposition have scored! Yay! He'll be running around, bastard. Yeah.
Running? No, he just put the cricket on. If you are going to do that, Bart, and use your like real face as a photo, like bigger, like good for you. Like, you've been here for a very long time. Unfortunately, you're part of our family now. It is appreciated that you don't go on about Liverpool, but please let me know if you did actually know what a Mackem was. You can't. I don't think Bart would make that mistake.
Yeah, he would.
Do you think so?
Yeah, he would. He would. No, he would. No, he would. I don't know. You're right though, because he strikes me as quite intelligent, Bart, sometimes. But then maybe we just think he's intelligent. He is a complete thick twat. Isn't it, Bart?
Well, I mean, like, Bart's doing a PhD, and I know a lot of people have done PhDs, and they're not normally intelligent. They're just autistic and vertical. Like, they're focused on stuff. They're not like me and Yamba. We're more horizontal. But anyway, Mr. Potters, I would do it 100%, but the time change is too difficult. 8 hours behind you lot in the UK.
Shit. Yeah, that might be a bit of a badness, to be fair.
I just like, do you know what? I think it would be brilliant. Can you imagine like POTUS just doing it in bed, trying to be quiet, not waking the wife up?
And United score. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus.
Elite on the watch along. Well, I mean, if his mind is as busy as his profile picture, why not?
See?
I would get exposed for what I am if I was on stream. I mean, that is some world-class attention seeking, Andrew. Elaborate it. Oh my God. I would absolutely adore this if we got Lucky Singh to do transfer deadline day with us.
Wow.
I think it would be brilliant. And it's Socrates. One Love family. Now, hang on. Is that in Bolivia, Socrates? I think I might have been there. Is that Saladornai? Name me one thing United has got right this year. We won the fucking FA Cup.
Yeah. I know our memories are short and we're a bit upset. We won the FA Cup by beating Man City. Let's not forget that, yeah? And that was actually this year. Yeah.
Like, that is, I spent that with my father and I'll never forget that. Like, that's something that I do have to thank Ten Hag for. Hope you guys win the next 2 games. Do you mean you guys? Who do you support? Jesus Christ. I've been to both, Bart, obviously. Lucky Singh tried getting me banned off a stream the other day. I'd love to know what emojis he used, Andrew. If he came and did that here, I would allow it. I suppose Barcelona. I mean, for me personally, Barcelona are the Scousers of Spain. Never like them. Like Meshkin Club. Like they're basically just Scousers with a nationalistic agenda. Grace, I would be on stream, but have a Delo room. I don't want anyone assuming I'm crazy or anything. Socrates is an awesome name, named after a Brazil legend. Our other panelist, Angelica, is such a fan of Zico that he forced his parents to name his brother Zico, and then for some reason made Zico play as a centre back. Which
I know, crazy.
Oh no! Just think of the viewership numbers you could get, Mr. B, if we were in League One.
Don't even bother. Z can see us 7-0. Listen, we'll talk about that one when we get to it. Let's just take this beating first, and then we'll drift on to the next one, please.
Was that Yabba? Yes, it was Yabba. Yabba loved Zico so much that Kehinde was called Zico. Socrates is a Greek philosopher too. God, is that a troll from Bart again? I never know because it's so bloody obvious. Here's one for you, Bart. See if you can work this out. A chemist is trying to kill his friend, and he goes into the bar and he says, "I'll have H2O." And he looks at his friend and he goes, "I'll have H2. Yeah, I'll have H2O." Why is that a joke? See if you can work that out. Blau, he prefers Plato. Plato, I can't stand him. He's set back. Oh, anyway. All right. Enough of this, Mr. B, innit?
Yeah. Last one. Big G. To be honest, mate, I wouldn't assume that'll be a Sky one, no? Monday night?
Well, it's not going to be Amazon. Like, they're done now with Amazon Prime.
It was beautiful having it on Amazon, though. Jesus. They cover. I like their coverage. I like Amazon's whole setup.
I loved it. I love the fact that they got, like, not just Chris Kamara in, but they kind of got Ali McCoist back into in the public, and it was so nice to have someone that loved football, like people like Keane, Neville, and stuff like that. I get it; they hate watching United and things like that, but Ali McCoist felt like one of us who was like sort of childish and giddy and excited by all the skills we saw, and it really elevated things. And then, I like Gabby Logan. Gabby Yorith or whatever she was called. I just think it was so good to have a disruptive influence come in that streamed really well in high quality. And I think it's a real shame that they're out now, because TNT and Sky, they don't care about normal football fans.
They're not bothered now because they've got all of the fans paying their money. But look, let's see what we're doing it.
And 6 away from 30 likes. Look, Steph, you've modded our channel for a long time. You know that we're not going to get like 30 likes and things like that. We like football too much. Like if we like, you're all frauds. Like fraud settings. Like,
listen, bath time starts insulting you. That means that we've actually been here too long. When it gets to this stage, there's love, and then the hate comes in. So now look, we've all done the love, and I can feel bath time's hate come, which means that it is actually time for us to lack a nut.
Are you hungry?
You can tell, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back again on Monday.
Yeah, we will have the watch along, 100%. Guys, join me for the for the marathon drink along. I've got no work Tuesday, so it really will be a drink along.
I might come if it's a drink along, lad.
Yeah, come, bring your bottles, man. Bring your bottles. But yeah, look, guys, it's where we going? It's a lack of notch from me. Yeah,
it's a lack of notch from me,
and a lack of notch from me.